We're all set. Hi. How are you guys doing? How goes? Hope all's well. New month, new stuff and things. Also, let's get this a little closer to the front of my face. Although I might have to turn this thing back down. Although I don't want to fiddle with it too much given the audio issues that were happening yesterday for some reason, even though my settings were pretty much the same. Although that might have just been a me not talking loud enough issue, which is entirely possible. Also here I'm with my Earl Grey. That last minute decided to make. But what's up? General developments for today, not terribly much, but given the whole follower emote thing just got rolled out to me yesterday, so we have a couple extra slots to play around with, which you can see I've made a wee little change in there. So for anybody who happens to be sub, you have the Sock Love emote currently in your set of 4, and the Nap emote has been removed, because I was checking the general emote popularity and stuff and things, and that one got used pretty much the least. So I was like, you know what? Let's just make that a follower emote for now, although I do honestly want to fiddle around with that emote as it is for now. But as it currently is, I'm going to just leave it as a follower emote and see how it goes. So in that, it's just nice little swap going on there. I still need my, what is it, 10k, although I know no one's in the 10k for the bit emotes, and maybe a tier 3. I have not decided on whether or not I'm going to have a tier 3 emote. We will see how I feel about that. I'm still kind of, But other than that, not terribly much. I am probably, when it comes to the follower emotes, not going to be anything like, full out. But however, I'm not going to give anybody crap either. But yeah, nothing too detailed going to be going on here. That one I literally just sketched while I was sitting talking to a girl member during her stream earlier today. Which there's still one emote that I haven't added on to. I could potentially use that as my last one for the tier 1 slot, if that ever gets unlocked. But yeah, this is just sketch going on of a leaf, which is going to be the same general colors as the sheep, so you're going to get various shades of like purple going on in here. Although I did not get a chance to add the thing, which let me layer. Let's see. Not there. I need general drawings and then get the colors, because I'm trying to keep the colors pretty much consistent. So it's like have some of these sheep colors in there to avoid too much confusion. All right. There it is. Whee! All right. And that's handy. Right there in the little top right corner, so that works out really well. All right, so let me get back to the leaf. Which, given its fall, I figured, falling leaf would be a nice one to have for just in-channel stuff. Bams! Hello! How you doing? Thank you for that host. I do appreciate it. How goes Wednesday? And how goes your sewing? I don't know why I was saying suing yesterday. I always say it's sewing. But how are you? Glad to see you back again. which if you're busy, totally feel free to lurk. Alright, so let's turn this back to that way. Zoom in, which for anybody who's not directly looking, the canvas is about 10 times the size of a 112 by 112, so 1120 by 1120. So basically it should have no problems shrinking down to the size it's supposed to be for emotes. Alright. Okay, that's what I thought. It looked a little weird. Also, I kind of did the sketching bit so I could warm up a little bit. I hadn't drawn anything today, and I knew if I just came in cold, things would get very annoying real quick for me. Which, once I clean this up a little bit, I'm going to do the line art and then apply some colors here and there. This should hopefully not take long. I'm hoping to maybe get through this one and start another one by the end of today. Once again, I'm not going to be doing anything super fancy, but just cute things that I can have in there. Which, for the last one, that's the last slot for the tier 1s if we happen to get that open at some point or another. I can maybe... Oops. Consider doing a floof emote, considering I call fiber floof. So it makes sense to have a floof emote at some point in time. Da da da. Also, mystery package has shown up. The one that I said that was coming from Webs right before I got started, which I need to wipe that off. So probably gonna wait until the break and see what that's about. No worries. Like I said, if you're busy, definitely go and deal with that first. It is no rush. I am just here cleaning up potential emote and stuff. Definitely go deal with more important stuff and things. The inking's gonna be a pain in the ass, even though that's almost always a pain for me. She's almost 3 and definitely has it. Oh boy. Good luck! Alright, eraser. Just want to make sure it's not messy. Although these lines I'm definitely gonna probably not exactly following. So let's zoom back out so I can actually see it. Alright, cool. I wonder if I should outline it in the gray and see how I feel. Let me grab the ink. There we go. That one. And let's add another layer here. Let's see. Also make sure to label that layer. Wow, I can speak and say words. Let's see. Uh-oh, did I? Yeah, that might have been me. A sketch. Alright, and then Let's go to... Where's the thing? Oh, that would be why. There we go. Stabilizer. Because my hand is very shaky. Which I have considered maybe looking at one of those visible tablets or something, but at the same time it's like, A, I don't have the money for one of those. B, it's not like I do a lot of art, so it honestly makes no sense. I mean, yes, draw my own emotes and do wallpapers, but it's like, financially, I feel like it wouldn't pay for itself, so it makes no sense. Alright, and... Oops. Did I not pick up the color? Oh, there it is. I was like, where are you? There. Here. And... Okay, why is that selected? That should not be selected. Thank you. That's weird. Alright, from about there. There it is. And... Alright. Let's clean that a little bit. It is always this part that bugs me to no end. Let's zoom out just a wee bit. Oh, we're out here. And tilt this canvas around. And definitely move out a little bit more. Yep, I hate it. Terrible line. Let's try again. Okay, about there. We can stop and then come back. Come on. I can leave that. And where's that reflect button? Image. And just come back for the other side. Nope. Alright, and then... Yeah, this way is probably gonna be better. This is the only part of the emote process I am not terribly fond of. Drives me crazy every time. Okay, yeah, that area is a wee bit off. Let's go again. Nope. Still bad. Although I technically should be drawing with my arm rather than my wrist. And the bottom line. Do I want to, yeah, this way a little bit. And then come through here. Do. Nope. With the nap emote, I'm half wondering if I could just change that one to a bunny. I'd keep the blanket color and all that, but just change the sheep to a bunny. Because I feel like that would work. Keep the damn arm steady. Nope. Come on. Nope. Bye. Hold on. Yeah, I just skipped from there to there. That's wonderful. Also. Okay, the rest of it's not bad. Just that. That terribleness. Alright, let's try again. Which also, let's turn on the opacity a bit more. Actually see that a bit better. Yeah. So my arm move. Nah. I really do hate this part. Nope. Come on, I just want to draw this one line, man. Okay, I can come back there. Nope. Nope. Alright, maybe a little bit more tilting that way. And I should hopefully be able to get the rest of this line to cooperate. Oh, so that's not even touching. Let's try again. Alright, maybe. Alright, and that should be enough with that. So let me clean off the extra bits. Just let me zoom in for that. Nope. Alright, and yeah, here. Nope. If I got this done a little bit earlier, I honestly would have done the liner off stream. Then it would have just been straight to coloring, but alas. Alright. Alright. I'd forgotten that line was even touching. So... Alright, and what's that? Let me zoom in a little bit more. Let's see what this is about here. Oh, okay. So I might have to move that over there. Okay. Although... Alright, missed that little bit right there. There we go. That should suffice. Flying Deer Composer. That is quite a name, and I mean that in the best way possible. Hi, how are you doing? How goes your Wednesday so far? I'm fiddling around with emote stuff and things. Hope you're doing well. So let's see what this thing is about. Okay, nothing that needs my immediate attention. Cool. But yeah, I'm currently doing the inking part, which is my least favorite part for me. Yay! And I'm presuming that... Well, no, I could easily be wrong. Not bad. Got a mysterious yard package I need to go look at. Now I have... Yay! That is always the best thing. Be able to have some time to do some stuff post-work. If you have the energy to do it. What kind of work do you do? Also, curiously, what time zone are you in? Because I was going to presume that you're later in the day than I am, but given, you know, work schedules can easily be, you know, highly different. I easily could be incorrect on that. Okay, yeah, alright, so you are about 5 to 6 hours ahead of me because I'm on the East Coast. So yeah, much time difference. And it's, okay, 5 hours. My geography is not my strongest, but I know you guys are about 5, 6 hours ahead of me. But yeah, thank you for joining me post the end of your workday. I do appreciate it. What kind of stuff do you like to draw? Yeah, let's turn that over a little bit, or unless I can fill in the space and then just take off when I want to take off from there. That'd probably make life a little bit easier. Or I can leave that as in some line weight. Maybe. Alright, and mouse. Wait, yeah, I can just clean off a little bit of that. So, time to tilt. Okay, why are you not doing the thing? Thank you. Trees, bit of fashion, landscape characters, bit of comic book stuff. Ooh, that's quite the variety. It depends. I do like to draw people sometimes. I have not really drawn landscape stuff terribly often. I'm trying to get into, doing backgrounds and that sort of stuff in my art. Because that's something I need to work on a bit. Yeah, definitely people. A little bit of fantasy things. It depends what I'm in the mood for. Because I did, my own kind of bit of Drawtober where I just drew random things for the last month in my wee little sketchbook. And that was fun. Also, I realized I forgot my tea. Tea, please don't be cold. Okay, lukewarm. Not terrible. Some Earl Grey tea. Which I might as well just drink the rest of it now. Which also, let me just move the mic away from my face so you don't hear the sipping noises as badly. But yeah, sometimes I do like to draw things like animals too. Your occasional cats. Cats are fun. Plus, it allows me to draw fur, which is not something I draw terribly often. Alright. That was a little gap, and... Nope. A little bit better. Probably stand to zoom in a little bit more. Clean that off a little bit. Alright, so let's zoom in. Come on. Back there. Thank you. Although, let me see. Which I still have to do the little lines for the leaves in there, but that hopefully should not be as bad. Nope. That is nowhere near I want it to be. No. I'll continue. Yay! Definitely enjoy your sketching. And I hope you have fun. Also, hopefully the outside sounds are not bothering you. Because apparently there are some landscape people outside. Next door. So that's fun. If you enjoy hanging out with me, totally feel free to give a follow if you'd like. Not required. But I hope you enjoy the chill tunes, and hopefully you have a good time here. Ba-da-da-da-da, where is the goddamn thing? Yeah. Alright. Just clean that little edge off, and... let's go right here. Nope. I meant to go above so I can fill in a little bit of right here. But I keep going underneath. This is not where I want to be. I want to stay on top of the line. Oh my god. That's better. because I have a tendency to use my wrists when I draw, even though at times it's preferable that you use, the entirety of your arm to move to get to the lines, which that's where I struggle. Just making it a pain in the ass. So I am trying to work on that. Because that would definitely make things like this a lot easier. Also, anybody who's not been here before, my typical stream schedule is Tuesdays, Wednesdays, today. Well, technically Thursday if you're in the future lands. But yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, typically from about 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, which, given you guys in Europe had your time change, it's like 1 hour earlier of what it normally would be. At least for this week. Next week it's going to go back to normal because we get our time change. Goody. Ugh. I hate time change. It's stupid. I mean, yes, we get 1 hour extra of sleep and whatnot, but I hate it. I appreciate that follow. I love I complain about it every single year like it's gonna make it not happen. But yeah, it's here we are. Alright, so let's put that underneath there so I can get the leaf lines. So I'm gonna need to zoom out a bit again. Hopefully this should not be that much trouble. And tilt canvas. Also, gonna need to not follow those lines. So they're gonna need to be a bit more curved, or else it's gonna look weird. Oh, so that's not touching. The other one's not touching either, but that I can fix. That's pretty close. Which, I'm doing this on a separate layer, so in case there's any issue, I can just edit these specifically and not have to erase the line for the actual leaf. Alright. Also, anybody watching for the first time, I'm a bit of a variety caster. If you check out my panels, you see all the stuff I can do, but typically, obviously based on the name, I tend to do yarn crafts, so knitting, crocheting, spinning, and weaving. Chainmail too at times. I like to do chainmail, it's fun. Let's see, digital, right now what I'm doing, traditional art, a wee bit. Sometimes games, sometimes Stardew Valley, sometimes words on stream, because that's a fun one. And if you happen to enjoy any of those things, totally feel free, if you're not already following, to give a follow. And hopefully enjoy our chill times here. Which, speaking of games, anybody who happens to have amassed a bit of channel points, you might want to look at our community challenge, which is currently going on the bottom of the chat, where you can see, what's its face, the channel points, the Twitch channel points, not the bot channel points. Because I have bot channel points, which I use for stuff like giveaways and stuff, which is called floof, but the Twitch channel points I call donuts, which you can see a little donut on the bottom of your chat, which, yeah, that should be for both mobile and PC streams. But getting back to the point, community challenge, which I'm currently having, is for me to play Hades, if you're familiar, Greek mythology based video game for charity stuff and things. We already met the goal for me playing GeoGuessr, which is going to be me not knowing where the heck I am because, geography, not my best strong suit. We'll be all lost together. It'll be fun. Hades, which I have some slight more experience. I have not beaten the game. but I play more on the Switch than the PC. Either way, both are going to probably be for the... What's its face? I don't like these lines. Clear. Where is that? Yeah, I don't like those lines. But yes, both games are going to be for the Project Linus charity, which basically makes blankets for kids, which you can actually send in blankets, blanket squares, or send in financial funds, which be raising funds for that. The plan is to do this in December, give everybody time. Plus, December tends to be the more active time, like near Christmas around Twitch. So I figured give some time for me to plan out stuff and things. But yeah, I cannot wait to do that. That's it. Yeah, they have like a bunch of areas all around the US. So if you want to donate to one specifically, or if you just want to donate to, Project Linus in question, like in general, both are available to you. But yeah, they're very great, so I hope we can make some good money for them. Thank you! I appreciate you. That puts us at, I'd say 21%. Because we were at 16% before, and the goal is 25,000 in channel points, so that's 5,290 out of 2,500, so we are more than 20% of the way there. Thank you! The general plan is for me to basically play one different... I want to get more. No worries, it's a cap. I think each person has a cap of like 2,000 channel points per stream they can add, so that is not a problem. Also, we have another 26 days left of this. I think we'll probably make it, because the GeoGuessr one got filled up in a week, which I was very impressed with you guys. You filled that one up. That went a lot quicker than I expected. Alright, so let's get these leaves. Also, welcome back. Has the almost 3-year-old been wrangled? If so, congratulations. Nope. That was nowhere where I wanted to be. I want to go up. Like so. It's fine if I go over the line because I can fix that at some point. Alright, and there it goes. I think, yeah, I didn't touch the line with that one. I can redo it. It's the shortest one. That should not be a problem. Oh, congratulations! A-Socks. You're gonna do some stockinette. Some vanilla socks. Which, that is a good place to start if you're gonna do, first pair of socks. Which I used to definitely with the channel knit socks all the time. Since they're actually pretty simple in concept. Because, the ribbing, then the leg. But I have a lot of patterns. This is fair. I would point you to Rose City Rollers, but I don't think that's available to be downloaded anymore, which is a shame. Because that tends to be my go-to pattern for anybody learning to knit socks. Because it's very handy, but I think they're trying to make it more accessible, so to be gotten, which is why they took it off Ravelry. Although, another argument with that, when it comes to first-time socks, it'd probably be good to do socks of, like, say, a larger thickness than, say, sock weight, so you can get a handle. For knee-high with leaves, wow. I've never done knee-highs, because I don't think I have that patience. Because knee-highs, A, take a lot of yarn, B, take forever to actually knit. Alright. Let's see, I think I like these lines a little bit better. Oh, let me clean up this area. Come on. Oh. Is that? Yeah, I think that's doing that. That's the problem. Let's see. Let me zoom in a wee bit. And by a wee bit, I mean a lot. 2 skeins of sock yarn sitting there, but I'm not sure if I have their weights. Let's see. At most, I'd say doing worsted would be a good time, but arguably you can do sport or DK or Aran weight, which I think Aran and worsted are pretty similar in weights, if I am not mistaken. Also, yeah, that's not there. Alright, and there are, yeah, because it's usually 9 wraps per inch when it comes to Aran, and it's 8, not 8, yeah, 8 wraps per inch when it comes, no, 8 per wraps is sock weight, but it's usually pretty close in size. I know I'm definitely misquoting numbers right now, but trying to draw and think of yarn weights is not easy. Well, actually, yeah, about 5 wraps per inch with Aran and probably 4 wraps per inch with worsted. Be right back. No worries. Definitely take your time. I'll be here cleaning up lines. Which, that shouldn't take me too much longer. And I can hide the sketch layer. And then start filling in some colors. I might change the line color. Of a wool acrylic. Ooh, nice. Does it have nylon in there? Because that's the one thing you'll probably want in there. Just to make sure, the socks don't fall apart on you. Also, you don't have to, but if you're not gonna have like something like nylon or silk or something of that variety in there, you'll just want to make sure you can be careful in how much you wear it, because that can wear out a little bit faster. Especially if it's like merino wool, because that has a short staple and that wears out a bit quickly. Yeah, definitely. For our first time, definitely go with what you feel like doing and see how it works out. Because there's no point in doing anything if you're not going to have fun with it. Yes, frogging is always possible. Oops. Don't do that. I just needed a little bit off of there. Where am I? Oh, I'm near where the edge of the leaf is. Okay. Where the start of this area is. Also, let's clean that. Nope. I want the eraser. That is the paintbrush. And I keep pressing that. Really would like to not be pressing that. Is it a solid or a multicolor? Because definitely for first time, you want to be able to see your stitches and stuff. So I definitely advise a solid to make life easier. You don't have to, but definitely would be better for figuring out if stuff goes wrong. One skein solid, one skein multi. Okay. Alright. And almost done here. Alright. I even noticed this. Yeeks. Because that needs to be dealt with. Do. Come on. Nope. Too much. That's better. Alright. Oh, I apparently... What is in my stash? I haven't looked though, and fair. Completely fair. Definitely go over your stash and see what you have. And go from there. And see how that works out. Alright, and... Alright. I think that should be it. Whoops. Did not mean to zoom out that quickly. My bad. Alright, so hide the sketch. I'm not sure about these two. Like, I feel like it should come out there. Alright, I have a couple minutes until I need to go for my break, so I can just quickly fix these. No, that doesn't look quite right. Let's tilt you that way. Yeah, about there. Come back and clean this part off. Also, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. And I was correct. I have a back injury. Oh no! To use my hands progressively. I've been getting treatment for them. I feel like I should do... Aw! Thank you. Not sure why I'm sneezing right now. Haven't sneezed all day, and now all of a sudden, that. But yeah, that's annoying. Alrighty, enjoy your food, noms. Glad you can hang out. If you do happen to come back, hopefully see you soon. And if not, thank you for hanging out with us, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and enjoy your food, noms. Glad to meet you. Oh, wrong screen. Because I just opened OBS and I meant to open this. Okay. Alright, where are we? Here? Yeah. Gently come through. Also fair, yeah. Given it's fall, tends to be the time of allergies and such. Alright, yeah, I think that's... Well, actually, no. That still looks crooked. Still looks crooked. Ugh. Why? I just want to finish and do some flat colors, man. Why must you taunt me like this? Okay, that's better. That's better. Alright. Let's see. Okay, the rest of it I'm okay with. Although, let's clean that little area here. Whoops. I forgot I'm not using the eraser brush right now. Whoopsie. Alright. Let's zoom back out and see about what color I want. Let's see. I think this one. Here. Turn off the stylus. Stabilizer. Alright, and then just add a fill layer. Let's see. Flat colors. And like a wee bit of shading. A flat color time, finally. The inside's gonna need to be darker than the outside. And then the edge of that's gonna probably be the deepest shade of purple, maybe. Make that smaller now, so I can fill this. If I change my mind on what colors I want, that'll be fine. I know I'm going outside the lines, but I can easily erase that. Although let's make this a bit bigger. Also, with how I am, with how I sit sometimes, especially when I'm doing art stuff like this, I usually have to be on top of taking breaks and stretching, especially my neck. Because I can kind of feel it having a pins and needles thing right here. In the back right there. So, yeah. Stretching, indeed. I tend to be less on top of that when I'm not streaming, but when I stream, I'm usually very, very aware. Because my body does not take kindly for me to be doing things like this and hunching and such. It will take much offense much quickly. Alright, so darker. And much smaller. Let's use. So you got the stem. I wonder if I could, at some point, maybe change the liner to the dark purple. Because I think that's going to show a bit better than this gray. In contrast, if I keep it this color, in my opinion. But that is not an immediate issue. Also, that Linktree link that just popped up in chat is where I have all of my various links, including my Etsy shop, my Ko-fi, which also has a shop, but that one's for digital things like wallpaper. And also pins. I have donut pins hanging there that I got made by, what's his face, Sticker Mule, for my affiliate anniversary a couple months ago. And a bunch of other things. I know there's a way to do it. I haven't done. Yeah, this is actually Krita, so if you happen to have advice, totally feel free to share. Because I very much prefer, you know, free drawing apps and stuff, because I do not have the money for, what's its face? What's the one? I should know what that is. Words. Photoshop, thank you. You would think, since I know at least one person who uses it on the daily, that I would remember, but I do not. But yeah, I do not have the money for the monthly Photoshop, which apparently at one point you used to be able to buy Photoshop fully, like you'd be able to fully own it. It was like $1,000, but still. But now they make you rent it monthly, so, you know, they can get more money. Yeah. I had no idea until I saw someone on YouTube mention it. I was like, what? You could have bought you? You could have bought Photoshop at one point? Huh. Interesting. But I imagine they make more money off of the monthly fee of like $10-$20. You can get student discounts. Fair. But still, I do not have the funds to go buy it on a monthly basis. Plus, I'd rather not have to figure out another drawing software. Although arguably this and Photoshop are somewhat similar. So it wouldn't be that difficult. But, yeah. Everything turned to yep. Because they get more money in the long run. It's annoying. But alas. Nothing we can do. Also, once I clean this little bit here, I'm gonna go take my break. Commands and, before you post it, feel free to warn me, because, I have the links thing on, so if you're not a regular, which regulars, it's like 12 hours of hanging out in the stream, so just forewarn me. Because I don't want the bot to eat your chat history. Also, nope, wrong thing. Because I see a little blank bit on the edge right there. So, let's fix that. Don't want to make the bot mad. Yeah, it's mainly just to avoid people just throwing in links randomly, plus the stupid follow bots that exist too, that also annoy me. Although I've not seen any of those lately, but yeah. Main reasons why I keep it on there. Alright, and this deeper color. Yep, I have it. Alright, let's see. Can I permit from here? Sometimes it allows me to permit from here, and other times it does not. It's weird. No, I don't want to do that. Alright, so I'll have to go through the bot to give permits. Let's see. No. There it is. Ta-da! You should be cool. Oh, whoops. Oh well, you have 2 minutes anyway. As long as you post it within 2 minutes. Yeah, I just realized after you said that, I was like, oh, that's what she means. Whoops. Alright, let me fill in these tiny spots. And clean up this. There we go. Yeah, I know sometimes they can like pop up in some places more so than others, so that does not surprise me. Alright, let's see. Can I add a clipping mask here? I really should take my break. Let's see. Select group. Nope. Add. Okay, it's only underneath. Alright, cool. Fine. Come on. Thank you. Alright, let's see if I can come here with that. Yeah, that one. Airbrush it and see. Nope. Oh, it's a transparency dummy. Alright. I never see the clipping mask. Let's see. Has 2 minutes passed by yet? Alright, let's see if that works. Yeah, alright, that's better. Although, let's erase. Okay, I'm gonna go take my break, so let me just save what I have right here and then come back. Let's see, file, save as, because I hadn't saved it yet the entire time. Yeah, I just usually don't dig into them terribly often. Okay, leaf emote. Leaf emote. Oh, damn it. Why? Fine. I will delete that and see what happens. Alright, file, save as. How about now? Still looking for, no rush. If anything, just let me know when you get it and then I'll come back and give you another permit. Alright, leaf emote, save. What do you mean? That's really weird. I've never seen it say that before. Is it because that's locked? The hell is happening? I just want to save. I haven't added anything. Nope, still won't let me. What the hell is going on here? From a color... Okay, fine. I guess I can't save right now. Boo. Anyway, I'm gonna go take my break, be right back. Hopefully nothing happens to this, or else I will scream. Back in about 10 minutes. Let's go over here and... Yeah, it won't let me save. Keeps saying that something... Before I get started, back to the art stuff and things. I got a Zobber Ball in the mail. Because I knew yarn was coming. I didn't buy it. Someone sent me the thing. And I knew once I saw webs, I was like, that is probably yarn. But I know I didn't order yarn. But yeah, I've never had a Zobber Ball, although... My only thing with these is that they're single ply, which, you know, for things like socks, that is a bad time. But considering I could probably use this in a shawl or something, that is not a bad idea. And same, I have a couple of them on my wish list, so that is actually a good thing. What is this? It's 100 grams, so about 4 ounces. Oh, I'm not saying Like, this would probably have to go in a shawl. The crazy sauber balls are like, I think 4-ply, 2-ply, or 4-ply. So if you're looking for something with a twist in there, you usually want a crazy sauber ball. But either way, I very much appreciate this because these things are not cheap at all. Like, I know that obviously firsthand. It's like 20-something bucks for one of these. But yeah, 75% superwash and 25%, I think, what is it? Probably nylon, yeah. Nylon, blah, blah, blah. 100 grams. How much in the way of yardage right here? Okay, it says 420 meters. Meters into yards. Because it has European measurements, so since it's made in Germany. So let's see. I know it's 3 feet in a yard. But I'm not sure how that parses into meters. Meters in a yard, so 420. Okay, a meter is just a little over a yard, so it should be about the same. Okay. 459 yards. That is a lot. But I do enjoy this because it's blues and purples and grays. Also a little bit of teal, so this is whatever. It'll be very, very lovely. More than likely a shawl though, because otherwise it'll be a bad time. Yeah, converter thingy. But yeah, this should be fun to play with. And based on who I see is on the thing, which I won't show here because I'm not trying to dox myself, because it has my address on here. And I'm guessing it's the same person that sent me the earrings from yesterday. So I will have to poke them about that. If not, then that will mean somebody else sent me yarn, which that'll be very weird, and I'll want to know who the hell did that. But yeah, more than likely, I think it's the same person who sent me the earrings. Either way, I very much appreciate it, and it's very, very nice. So, more yarn to my yarn stash. Although I'll probably be very selective what I use that in, because that stuff, you know, ain't cheap. Alright, so now if we've looked at that, I'm gonna go back to the art stuff and things. But yeah, at least I now know what the actual yarn is. I have a whole informed delivery thing, so I knew it was coming. I just didn't know what it was. 'Cause I really do wish that they would have more... What's its face? That they would have more, you know, information when it comes to shipping things, when it comes to USPS. Let's see. Add... What is it? Might be filter. Nope. I never use these things, so I'm always very confused what the hell is going on with these. Because I know in Photoshop there's a clip mask. File layer, selection layer. Yeah, I think I just might make another... add a layer and like do the thing from there and make life easier. So let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, I apparently missed that little gap right there. Okay, let's fix that first before I worry about that. That's a tiny gap, so that's not going to take me too long. Alright, and there we are. And what's that? I think that's, yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, so I should probably label these to avoid anything. Leaves, why not? Well, not the stem lines. What do you call it? Probably veins. Leaf veins. Do 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 do. Alright, so save. I want to avoid getting myself confused. Opacity, turn that down a lot, and also make the brush a lot smaller. Also, wrong layer. That would also be a problem. And let's grab... Where's my thing here? That's better. But yeah, I definitely need to read up with some stuff on Credit just to see, because I read it when I was first getting into the actually using the program on how to, you know, do the mask and stuff and the layers. But given I tend to not use that stuff, I obviously forgot what the heck it's for. Alright, let's do that. Also, let's make that a lot smaller. That's better. Alright, what's going out there? Oh, although the thing with the pen pressure is being weird, and I'm not sure why. It's not reacting anymore. Even though I have it set, I'm not sure what the issue is. So I think I need to tinker with this after stream. I found it archive. Ooh, that's fun. Also, oh, there it is. I'm well aware you're not saved. I can share, yes, but again, I'll need to give you a permit, so let me quickly do that and avoid that thing being a weirdo. And it's one of these two. There it is. Ta-da! I love the bot chooses that as the best time to be like, hey, you want to join the Discord? Although I swear I've heard of something like that already, so it might actually be the same thing I'm thinking of if it's some magazines. Like some magazine PDFs. Oh, wow. Ladies knitted silk stockings. Wow. Also, man, those pages are yellow. But where is this from? I presume, like, early-ish 1900s? Oh, wow, that says 1892. If that is the actual year. Come back! Alright, so... Copyright. $0.50 or 2 shillings. Man. So either American or British currency. Interesting. Because British currency is shillings and pounds. Price. Where the copyright at? Although, copyright laws... I don't think they existed that hard. Yep, 1892. Wow. The Buttrick Publishing Company. London and New York. Wow, that is insane. Huh. That is cool. I will definitely be staring at that later. Thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah, I saw the hand thing showing you how to actually do the thing, although trying to learn how to do the hand movements via, a book was not helpful to me when I first tried to learn when I was like 13 or so and bought one of those Scholastic books. Like, I figured out a cast on, but after that, my brain was completely lost. Like, I need video to be able to tell sometimes where to go, how to get from point A to point B sometimes. Although, if you write it well enough, I can usually get that to work out in my head. That's a whole thing. I learned by a book once I watched it. I was purling through the back loop. Oh no. Yeah. Like, even with pictures, sometimes it's like getting the hand motion to work out in your brain does not. It's not obvious. I haven't done. Yeah. Like, when you're just starting, it helps to be able to be like, oh, I'm doing it this way. Which, like, a couple years ago, I realized I was twisting my stitches, which I hadn't really realized, and I was just like, huh. Although there are ways people usually do, like, stuff with purposely twisting their stitches, but I had no clue I was twisting my stitches. So that was interesting. Da da da. Let's go even smaller. Oh, actually, no. That's way too small. 7, 8. Yeah. About an 8 is small enough. And that brush needs to go smaller. So I can do that. And then zoom back out. Yeah, I think this probably needs to be, or at least the lines need to be the really, really dark purple color. So let's get the paintbrush. Also, I need to blow my nose. Give me a second. Why is you like this nose? Let's see. Liner it. Let's make the brush a lot lighter. And then, yep, that's what I'm doing. Well, actually, no, technically that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I lock the layer, and basically I can just go over the lines and do the same thing. And basically that does it a lot more smoothly for me. Which I swear, it was like magic when I first found out that that was a thing. I was like, what? You can do that? Okay, it's a little dark, so let me go over this with like a little airbrush of a lighter color. And then, let's see. Let's lighten it up just a smidge. I don't want it too dark. But I definitely need it to stand out. Although, I'm wondering if those lines are too small. Because it's like 5 pixels, which is really small for something like that. I might have to make it a little bit bigger. Because, emotes, real small. So I might have to go over this. Welcome back! How you doing? How was your food? What did you have? Presumably for dinner. Alright, added some flat color to this leaf here, so we actually managed to get somewhere. Which also wants... Yeah, so I can do that. Little touch right there. Let's see, I can maybe add a little bit of pink on the outside. polenta with links and a... Huh. That sounds interesting. Can I get... Thank you! Good luck with getting work done. Thank you for hanging out and sharing that interesting knitting with me. Knitting book, rather. I really do think I'll need to thicken up these lines. Because, you know, this thing's going to be way too small for me to see it. Also, because I have that. Do I have that? Yes, I do. There we go. I like having gifts. Don't think that is the best thing to walk into. But hi, how are you doing? That's a punch. Oh, wow. Okay, that's better. I was like, did I somehow anger someone on the internet? Although all you have to do is exist and anger people on the internet. How are you doing? How goes your Wednesday? Hope all is good. Also, I think I went out of the lines just a smidge down here. Maybe. Let's see. Although I'll probably need to change the background color for me to even see that. So let's change that to a bit of a gray. But yay! Nice. Alright, pick up this gray, change it to slightly lighter. So I don't lose this color. But I probably won't need it. Alright, come on. Hi. Why am I not seeing color? That is weird. But yeah, Mira left. Hello. What brings you around here today? Alright, you need to be a lot smaller. And then I need to clean that up. But yeah, that's not even visible. That is really weird. I know I don't need to update the goddamn app, so... Not sure what the hell is its problem today. Nope. Ah, that would be why. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, cool. Alright. And I indeed did go out of bounds with the pink. Just a smidge. Which this is why I like to check stuff like this to avoid any issues later. Alright, and... yeah, I think I want to make these lines a wee bit bigger, so... let's do that. Grab the ink. Although, I didn't mean to zoom out that far. My hand was touching the damn thing. And make these lines a bit larger. Do. Let's tilt this. Also, let's turn on my stabilizer. Avoid any crap. Oh, that would help. If I didn't have that on. Nope. Nope. Do 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 do. Nope. How about the stops being a fucking pain in the ass? Okay, a little bit better. Nope. Nope. That was terrible. Let's try it again. Alright, let's tilt this the other way, and that might help. Just a wee bit. Not centered as I would like. There. And cropping inside ones. Try again. Nope. Alright. That should suffice. Let's clean off those little bits on the edge here. Nope. Too much. Alright, and that little bit right there. Alright. Come back. Alright. Do I want to leave it alone, or should I do a little bit more airbrush in spots? Yeah, a little bit more couldn't hurt. Also, let me turn off the stabilizer for this bit. But also, Ah, yeah, it definitely proves that's why. So let me fill up those spots with white. Okay, why is it not? Yeah, alright, fine. Whatevs. Alright. Turn the opacity down on this. Do this a little later, and then... No. Let's grab the edge here. And the inside's gonna need to be a wee bit darker. So, airbrush, really dark purple. Do 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 do. And much smaller. Okay, the next time I take a break, definitely gonna need to stretch because I could feel my neck being very, very pissy with me right now. So I definitely did not stretch enough the last time. Not terribly enough that I need to stop drawing for the moment. Alright, and then a bit more of that light pink on the outside here. Do 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 do. Turn the opacity all the way back up so I can actually erase. Alright, so let me just blend out a little bit to make sure. Careful about it so I don't need to do anymore. Alright, so how do I feel about this? I think it's alright enough. So I'm gonna let's see. Background. Okay, which layer is that? The hell? Okay, not that one. Okay, that one. The fuck did that happen? That's wonderful. Alright, so let me erase this. Alright. Put those little spots here and there. Although, let me lock that and then add a little bit more of that pink. Alright, so let's see, that's at 100%, so let me export this after I change the size here. Scale image new size, 112 by 112 here. Also, Flying Deer, what do you happen to do, like, for a living, if you mind me asking? If not, you totally do not have to answer that question. Curious. Export. Save. Okay, so I can export, but it won't stay as... It won't stay as a... That's really strange. Let's see. If I save, let's see if that'll do that. Photoshop. Yeah, cannot save the same as the Photoshop, and its reasons it contains one or more layers with a color mode. Color model that's different from the image. The hell are you talking about? Unless they mean probably this. So, let me see. If I delete that... Well, actually, undo that, and then just delete the layer. And see if that will help the situation. Yep, it was that layer, because it was a different size. Dumb. I did not realize that. But at least now I knew. Alright, so let me see how that looks like in 112 by 112. Open. Go to that section and see how that works in 112 by 112. Nope, not that one. Where are you? There it is. Come on. Alright. So that at 100%. Yeah, I say that works. Oh, I can probably do a couple of little lines. Make it look like it's falling or something. In the really dark purple. That I should be able to still pick up from there. So, let's see. Nope. Yeah, I don't like it that way, so let me try going this way. Maybe making it a little bit smaller. Nope. Not straight. Also, God, my goddamn neck is complaining. And then... Alright, so... Is that? Yeah. Let's see, at 100... If I lock that, airbrush those lines. Come on. There we go. You need to be smaller. Because I don't want to make it too light, or else it's going to be really hard to be visible. So... need to toe the line a little bit. Alright, so... Alright. Alright, so for now, save that way. And see what happens. Save. Although, let me unlock the layer. Alright. So I think that one's done. Also, it's break time for me, so I'm gonna take my second break and upload that onto there and see what it looks like. If not, I can remove those little lines and just leave the leaf as is. Anyway, definitely feel free to take a break if you've been sitting here doing, whether it be drawing or knitting or whatever craft you have to be working on. Or if you happen to be working in the background, totally feel free to take a break as well. And I will be back in about 10 minutes to come back and work on a second emote. So I will see you guys in about 10 minutes. Totally feel free to play the Plinko or the drop games, which are both present. Alright, everything is where it's supposed to be, so... Hello, I have face again. The app's minimized, so that's why you're not seeing anything for the moment. But there we go. Alright, so I'm thinking about... Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this down, also make this a wee bit bigger. Also, how large is this canvas? Let me... Oh, 1,000 by 1,000, so I'll need to actually make it a little bit larger. Okay. Scale canvas. To make sure it fits with everything. Alright, It's not terribly much in the way of difference, but I just want to make sure it's perfectly square. But that also means I need to do the same thing for the image. Okay, then why are you looking like that? Weird. Alright. So let's pick this up. There we go. Alright. So this is one of those emotes that I had sketched a while back. I'd say if not 2020, probably 2019. And I think this is back when I had these, like when I was words are great. When I had like a voting process to see like which emotes people wanted at the time, so, and I think this one had lost out. I know at least 1 or 2 people voted for it, so I could put this as a follower-only emote and see what happens. But if it gets popular enough, I could put it as, you know, the last tier 1 slot, maybe. I'm pondering this. By the way, would not hurt to work on this. I'm gonna need to make it a little bit wider. Because A, sheep needs the rest of its body. B, it's a bit rough, but it was a while when I did this. So it makes sense. So let's get on with it. Probably it's only going to be the sketch part. If anybody wants to chat, what are you guys up to today so far? I got surprise yarn in the mail, which is a Zebra Ball, which I have not been able to get my hands personally on a Zebra Ball before, so very much excited. Only thing being, it's one of those single twist things, so I'm gonna probably relegate that to, say, shawl use. Because as socks, that would be a bad idea. Alright. Oh, that would help if the opacity wasn't 60%. When the hell did that happen? Oh, that's a different pencil than the one I was using before. That would do it. Because there's a couple of different pencil tools. And I'm using the second, that one. There we go. That should make things a wee bit better. Although, for the circle bit, I'll probably just want to go like that. Nope, I chose the wrong thing. Up here. There we go. That's better. Alright. Brush, sketching the line. Alright, so that would be basket, although, yeah, can do that, so, add, although I'm not sure if the basket texture is gonna stay there, because there's only so much you can do with such a small amount of pixels, so it might not even be visible, so might be wasting my time doing that. I mean, if I make it big enough, maybe. But more likely than not, might be wasting my time. Alright, so there's that. And they're roughly. Also, the leaf is uploaded into the follower emote section, so you definitely should be able to play around with that if you would like, given it's seasonally appropriate. Which also, for anybody who happens to have access to the 5K bit emotes, that one's gonna probably be disappearing. At least here on Twitch, that's probably gonna get sent over to the Discord once I find something to replace that with. Also, those aren't touching. That's unfortunate. That's where it needs to be. Alright, so that needs to go out there. Nope, wrong layer. Damn it. There. Nope, wrong layer again. There. That's where I meant to click. Oh well. Again, I'm not in any real rush with these, so it's fine. I still have sub-sketches I need to work on, but again, I think I might do a bit of that offline when I get to that. We'll see when that happens. I still have the wallpaper to finish, which I'm hoping I might get to fiddle around with that tomorrow, maybe. Or I might do a bit of that after stream, if I get a chance to. Probably not a lot, but at least get some bits of it done here and there. Alright. That's this layer. That's the outside. Anybody have any thoughts about the House of not wow, wrong one. House of Gucci movie? I was about to say House of Versace, but that's a different crime. Which I hadn't heard about this one, but it makes sense, given that one didn't happen in the US, so I feel like that wouldn't get, reported as much in the US. Although, you know, fashion icon, blah blah blah. The only thing I've really seen is that a lot of people are pissed about the accents. Plus, you know, not terribly many, you know, Italian people in the movie. The only people I think that would even get a pass about it is Lady Gaga and Al Pacino due to Italian heritage, but everybody else, they're like, nah, this isn't cool. At least that's in general what I've seen. But yeah, I had no idea that crime even happened. Which, that crime, which you should be able to Google yourself, so technically not a spoiler. Basically, Adam Driver is going to end up, well, in the movie, his character is going to end up dead, killed by the ex-wife. i.e. Lady Gaga's character. Which, speaking of actual person that she is playing, actually got out of jail like a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago. She had gotten out because apparently her sentence got reduced, which even without the reduction, she still would have been out like at least 2 years ago. Which is kind of insane to like, although I think given the whole hey potential influence, maybe, and or the fact that she wasn't the one that actually, you know, pulled the trigger, I suspect that might be why. That or might have been 90s laws, since I don't have any, you know, offhand knowledge about, you know, the Italian criminal justice system in regards to sentencing guidelines for crimes. So I wouldn't be able to tell you, although would be an interesting thing to research. That's not something one would really think about offhand. Alright, so let me zoom back out here. Alright, hide that. Hide that. Nope, wrong one. Hide that. Sheep. Let's see if I can get that. Come down here. And then do that. Come on. Which, yes, still missing the lower half of its body, but that should not be terribly difficult to add in. Alright. Let's see. And go over that with this. A little bit longer on the ears, maybe? Yeah. And then head needs to come around. Alright. Let's make that a little bit larger as well. Do. I really do eventually need to give this sheep character a name. I have not bothered doing that for some reason, and I don't know why. Alright, so... Alright, somewhere about here. One would want... No. I don't want it too skinny. Too skinny will mean it will not be visible, which will not be helpful to me. Whoops. Come on. Yeah. A little bit puffy. Yeah, that's right outside the frame. So I'll need to... Okay, I didn't remove the color. Cool. Although, yeah. More like that in shape. Erase that. Also, the reason why I almost said House of Versace before is because, the whole thing with Andrew Cunanan, who randomly went on a shooting spree. I think that was also in the 90s. Yeah, it was definitely before cell phones, where he started offing people left, right, and center. It was a couple of people. The last being, one of the Versace family. I can't think of which Versace is it. I've seen this thing on Dateline like a couple of times. I should know who it is. But I don't remember who it is. I remember the guy who offed him. No, I don't want informed delivery. Please don't show me that. Alright. Ba-da-da-da. Come on. Where the bloody hell? Yeah, Gianni Versace. Which... they had a whole thing debating on why, he killed him and whatnot. Some in that episode, they were like, maybe, he had a thing with him, maybe. Or, he just wanted to, get a whole lot of spotlight. Because I'm pretty sure he had to have known that, there's, like, absolutely no way he could have gotten anywhere terribly far after doing that crime. Because it's like, dude, where the hell are you going after that? Too famous to even think about getting out of the country. But yeah, that was also the 90s, if I am not mistaken. Also, yes, I'm a weird person who enjoys crime stuff, although I have not... Yeah, it was late 90s, 97. But I think the Gucci thing was like in 91 or so. So a couple of years before that. But yeah, all the way around, kind of insane. Alright, yeah, that line needed to go. Also, that means I can hide that now. Although, wait. Ah, yeah, we're missing Nick. That would probably help this out a little bit. I'm like, I know something's missing. Although, arguably, I could probably go like this. I don't see. Although the face kind of looks more like a horse rather than sheep. Although I feel like their faces are kind of similar. Arguably. Alright. Okay, depending on how much time I have left and if I'm anywhere near satisfied with, this, I might start inking, but again, I might, leave it alone and then come back and then start inking, which, yes, I realize I need to erase that bit of line right there. It's not going to be visible with a whole bunch of sheep in there. Although, can this be a wee bit taller? Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so you need to go. Or at least need to get fixed. Although it would help if I were to get rid of that. Okay, then. Is that new? And how did that happen? That's weird. Alright, so I'm gonna need to move this a little bit back to get the edge of the foot there in frame. Alright, so let's move that back. Oh, that's what the problem is. Oops. Although it should be fixable enough. But that's my fault. For not realizing I meant to do that on a separate thing, but I didn't do that. Whoopsie. Oh well. Could be worse. Alright, so that should be about where I leave that. Yeah. Although I don't think I want that any longer, so let me erase bits of line down here. If this thing will let me. Oh, wrong layer. Do. And then that's apparently a bit on the outside. Not sure how that happened. Anyhow, let's see. Although if that's staying there, then I could just erase this and call it a day. I can already feel my neck starting to complain again, but given this is the mist of the last hour, should be fine. Do. Nope. A little bit too much off of there. Alright. Yeah, I think that might be what's causing it to do the thing. That or it might be a little bit too long. I don't know. Yeah, it might be a little bit too long is what the problem is here. Like it might need to be a little bit blunter to get it to do the thing. Like how I want it to. Oh, nope. I wanted the eraser. Oh, for fuck's sake. Eraser. I am probably going to spend a good chunk of the rest of the day knitting on dish towel for a bit, because I haven't touched that in a while. So I kind of need to get back to that. Also, yeah, if I erase up here a little bit, and then, yeah, definitely still a little bit too far back. Might get rid of that bit right there. And then, let's see, what else do I want to alter here? Because I want to make sure this is as good as I can possibly get it before I start inking this. Although I don't have to follow the exact lines, but I very much would rather not have to do too much alteration while I'm in the inking process, because that's kind of a pain. Alright. Although, let me actually open one of my other sheep emotes and see how I normally do it. Wait, no. Is there normally a neck? No, not on the side. Not like there. Yeah, normally not a neck. Alright, cool. So then, let's erase that. So, might down here be a little too straight, maybe? Maybe. Come on. Come on. There we go. Nope. That's what I wanted. Clean that. And then maybe... yeah. Might need to go like about here with this line. Do. I know I haven't drawn in the second leg. I just want to get through everything else before I even worried about that. Which... oh, and still the edge of the leg right there is kind of clipped. I'm gonna need to move that back a little bit more. So, let's turn you back up this way. And move everything over just a tiny bit more. Yeah. Over just a wee bit. There's the edge of my foot. And then this gets moved a little bit over too, not by much. Okay, fine. Close enough. All right. Do, 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 do. Gonna need to make sure I look up a sheep reference at some point. To make sure I have certain things correct. Do, 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 do. Alright, so let's see. If I let that continue. And then let's make that a little bit smaller so I can get a little detail bit here. Nope. Come on. There it is. And then come back here. Alright, let's clean that. Alright, clean that off. There it is. I really hate when this thing does it sometimes. When you select a thing and it does not change to what you selected to. It's really annoying and weird. Alright. Alright. That's cleaner. Okay, that was my fault. I think I moved. Selected the wrong thing. Alright. And... although I think this one's usually a little bit bigger. Alright. I realize I'm not terribly chatty at the moment. Sorry about that. Although I know some people don't mind silence at times, but for anybody who comes to hear me chatter on about things, I'm just very focused at the moment. Come on. Oops, that's way too goddamn small. That's better. Alright. Getting back to the crime-related thing also, let me see how much time. Okay. Just a couple of minutes left. Getting back to the whole crime thing, it's kind of interesting that, you know, the whole world cares when, you know, celebrity or fashion icon ends up getting killed, but, you know, when someone not famous, not as much attention gets drawn to it. I mean, unless they know a celebrity or a couple of other things. And it's kind of like, unless, you know, I know them personally, why the hell should I care? I mean that in the way of celebrities. Like, unless I knew you and or you're doing something for me, why in the absolute hell is there such a fuss being made over this? I just don't get it. Da 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 da. Yeah, I'm not feeling the face shape right now. I don't know what the bloody hell it is. Like, I feel like something's wrong, like right in here or somewhere. It's weird and it's driving me nuts. Alright, so definitely looks a lot cleaner than when I started, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, it's not look completely ready to go. Yes, I should still add that leg. I realize I have not added that leg yet. Also, that the curve of that needs to get fixed too, because it doesn't look quite right. But I think that was because I was like right at the edge of the canvas there. Yeah. Right at the edge of the said canvas. Which is very much annoying. So I might have to make the foot a little bit shorter and or probably angle it a little bit higher. One of the two. One of those two. I will figure it out. Yeah, because I just want it a wee bit higher. Like that one. There's not very much in the way of height disparity. There we go. Also, that'll mean I need to erase right here. Ta-da! Alright, so our sheep has 2 legs. Awesome. Although I think the arm needs to be a wee bit bigger. Just a wee bit bigger. Like about... maybe here? Yeah, about there. Which I don't think I'll need to change too much about it at this point. Which works very well for me. Do. Alright. Alright, so let me save. Because I had not saved the entire time I was working on that, which, you know, bad idea. Because shit can go wrong really, really quickly if you do not save things. So I think this is about my pause point, because I think we're at about 3 hours. Just about. So definitely could stand to A, take a break, and B, go and do things. So I'm gonna go see if we can go host somebody. So, there we go. Face camera. Yay! But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed me fiddling around with emotes and stuff and things. But thank you, Flying Deer Composer, for that follow. I hope you enjoyed hanging out here. Also, thank you, Thems Fiber Arts, for the host. Bams. Wow. Slightly off in Ballage. My bad. So I'm gonna go see who can go host. I know Wednesday's given its art. It's not as many people, which that is completely fine. So probably gonna be a smaller crowd, but that is alright. But let's see who I can send you guys to. There definitely should be some options. Come on. Okay, Mr. Brain's on. I'm not sure if he's gonna do knitting or stuff. Although also, the cute jeweler is also on. But Mr. Art Brains has slightly less people, so I can bring you guys over in that direction. So again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will be back again on Friday doing the usual crafty things. I very much appreciate you guys and have a great rest of your day, however long or short may that be, because time zones and such exist. And hopefully see you guys again soon. Bye. Do, do, do.